Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading. What's up, Capricorn? Wishing you all out there a very happy birthday, and welcome to the people who are either cross-watching or just wanting to immerse themselves in that Capricorn energy. This is a bonus birthday reading. We're going to do a little bit of love and romance, and then at the end we will do career, money, and finances. I'm going to try and keep it short, but I never make good on that promise, so here we go. Let's pull an animal card for what Capricorn needs to hear or see or know, what their energy is. There's really no timestamp to this video. If you came across it, I have faith that it is intended for you, okay, guys? So utilize this energy as you see fit. Ooh, the starfish. That's very fortuitous. Instantly when this came out, Capricorn, I saw almost like a military badge or something like that, like getting an extra star. Maybe I'm thinking like Boy Scouts or something like that. But I mean, it means prestige. It means honor. It means recognition, which, you know, very Capricorn-esque trait. Let's see. Give me one more on this. I don't know why. When I first started your reading, I was pre-shuffling off camera, and a tarantula kept wanting to come out, like it was showing itself, but it didn't fall out of the deck. And something about that, it was like along came a spider. So initially, I kind of interpreted that as, okay, maybe something kind of spooky is coming along, you know, Little Miss Muffet, right? That whole kind of fairy tale bedtime story thing, whatever that is. It frightened her away, right? But it could also mean something. It's almost like something's creeping in that maybe you're not anticipating the extent of how big it's going to be, or how, if it's not big, it's almost like how significant or important it's going to be in your life. This could certainly be in the form of a person. It could be a job. As soon as I pull this next card, okay, thank you. As I say, we will officially go into love, but I'm just kind of taking these animal cards for fun. Elk, very, very Capricorn-esque. And then we have, okay, dragon. This one's very cool. The dragon's eye. Some of you are seers. Some of you will be very good at this type of stuff. Tarot reading. Like, I'm hearing the word astro. So astrology, astrological studies, fill in the blank. Something about seeing the stars. And I'm hearing the word gifted. So some of you may even have psychic abilities. Some of you had a vision about it's almost like your future career or the public space in which you're going to, you know, I use the word fame very lightly, but whatever you perceive to be, you know, I don't even want to use the word famous because I think that has a negative connotation to some. And I mean, it doesn't to others, right? But what I mean is significant achievement and recognition. Some of you had a vision about what you're supposed to do or build, very like, I'm seeing like Field of Dreams, you know, Kevin Costner, if you build it, they will come. That type of thing. And I almost think along came a spider, which is, spiders are very indicative of like our guardian angels, our spirit tribe, right? Spirit animals, however you want to interpret that. Spiders can be very indicative of something big is coming along, and it's almost like you guys got an intuitive message or a message in your dreams about some sort of vision, orienting you. I'm hearing I'm seeing compass. So something about it's like your true north. You guys had like a change in direction. I don't know if you course corrected or it was just like it could have been a confirmation of something you were already thinking or feeling, and all of a sudden you just had this like surge of what is a good word for it? Images, pictures in your head of what it could be, or almost like I'm hearing the word treasure map. Things you're supposed to hit along in your path, or it's almost like stopping points, but really starting points. I'm getting that whatever this vision or dream or whatever this was that came to you or possibly will come to you if this is your message, Capricorn, this feels very relevant to your career, but it's not to say it couldn't be something in your love life. It's fueling the fire. It's giving you motivation to go out and chase it even more, because it's almost like you had I'm hearing the word taste. You had a vision of sorts, but it's almost like you had a taste of what it could be. And so something about that word is significant too. I'm obviously reading these completely intuitively, so if you guys aren't used to that, we're just going to roll with it this way for now. Anyway, something about the taste or the smell, something that if your career heavily involves one of the 5 major senses, or I'll even argue the 6 senses, right? If you do have kind of like that psychic ability, or if you're a medium or you channel messages of some kind, right? Especially the taste, though. I don't know if you work in the culinary field or something to do with the taste is very important. If not, sure, it could be, the 5 senses. Maybe you have delicious smelling candles that you make, or, whatever. Something about the 5 senses and the 5-pointed star. A lot of you are discovering your 6th sense. And it doesn't have to be something otherworldly or supernatural, though I would argue many of you have that inside of you, but it's lying dormant because you're not actively utilizing that muscle. You're not flexing that muscle enough and really sharpening your skills, honing your skills on your intuitive energy. And flat out, some of you are great at it. Some of you already know that you have that sense and you utilize it actively, right? Others of you, it doesn't necessarily have to be kind of the woo-woo one, but it could almost be like you've been neglecting an important part of your business, that it has to do with the more, tactile, the touch, the whatever of it, because you've been so strongly incorporating more the visual aspect. Do you understand what I mean? Obviously, it's going to be different for all of you, but it's something about something about this epiphany or this idea. It's not brand new, but it launches you in a direction that is incorporating something new. And I'm just getting, it has to do with a different sensibility, for lack of a better word, but touch, hearing, taste, smell. That could be it too. Say you're a filmmaker. All of a sudden you have this idea of, oh my God, I'm going to make a silent movie. I'm going to experiment with the audio tracks. I'm going to do this. It's something about, you guys get what I'm saying. That seems like a cool message. And again, for a lot of you, I just keep wanting to hone in on, it has to do with third eye. So maybe something to do with your chakra. Or even something about babies and the womb. I'm almost getting something about that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But it could have to do with pregnancy or really learning more about your chakra. And I'm the first to admit I am not super keen on all my chakra knowledge. So by all means, hop in and offer some insight there if I don't do this justice. But something about focusing on your more like grounded root energy. Something about that maybe, again, kind of like transformational or life-changing to you. So, if you've never picked up a book on chakras, maybe do that and give it a little read. I should probably do that myself. I do have a book on chakras actually, but I have to admit I've only kind of glimpsed at it. Anyway, what do I need to tell you about this elk? The first thing that came to mind is fire. So something about a fire sign, or again, the touch, something that's very hot. I don't know. And that could be a metaphor too, like, ooh, it's hot. That kind of thing. Capricorn, you're like, yes, that is me. I'm just kidding. All right, let's hop into the tarot and actually get you some more grounded messages here. Although I think that was great. I actually really enjoy reading them more intuitively sometimes, and I just feel like birthday readings kind of lend itself to like, whatever, we're just here to have fun, let's do it. So let's try and remember to timestamp. I'm about 7 minutes in here, so actually closer to 8. All right, let's talk about Capricorn's love life. Let's get them a little short story. Let's do it this way. What might be coming in for Capricorn? Let's get a short story on that. What might be coming in for Capricorn regarding specifically romantic love? Those came right out. I barely had to ask. So possibly something with earth and fire. You have 2 pages here. So if you are the earth sign Capricorn, male or female, you may have a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sag. I would say you guys are, I'm hearing the word communal. There may be a mutual interest, so you could meet this person in some sort of group or club. 6 feet apart with your mask on, right? Be safe. Don't be stupid. Just kidding. But I'm not. Be safe. But with pages, I'm almost getting someone who's in a class that you're in. Because pages can be students or children. Here's the thing. I'm really not getting too many hits about the children. That doesn't really work for me in this message here, but if it makes sense to you, by all means, take it and run with it. Maybe you guys are both teachers and you work with children. Something here with pages, it's probably not brand new. It's probably that you are engaging more actively. There's more flirtation, but the thing is, it's a nice combination because there's passion and there's warmth and there's flirtation, but there's also a reliability. There's a practicality to where this person fits in your life. It's not just this like F it mentality, I just want to date because I'm bored, or I just want to date because I'm lonely. There's actually something here where you're like, no, like this makes sense in my life right now, and I have time for it, and I have space for it, and most importantly, I actually have feelings for this person. So you might not know this person yet, but I would still say that with pages, very likely it's someone you kind of know, but maybe have never dated or considered romantically, okay? So then, okay, so for others of you, there's an awakening or a judgment call being made about a person from your past, and it's given you a lot of trouble or a lot of anxiety, feeling very overwhelmed when any sort of emotions rise up about this. It's debilitating, is sort of the word I'm getting with that. The Lovers, so it could be a Gemini, or quite simply just someone you loved at one point in time, or someone who there's a growing distance between you. So give me the storyline here. And so if that's the case, you know, if you are married to this person or have children with them, that could indicate why the children are coming up. There could be a decision of, I want to do what's best for the kids, but also, you know, I need my freedom because I feel suffocated and stifled in this marriage or in this relationship, whatever it is. So what is the fate of these lovers? Are they getting back together? Are they separating? I feel like the female in this relationship, if there is in fact one in this relationship, really wants to save this. It's the male who seems to be just going through a bit of a time assessment, okay? So this may involve a Scorpio, but it doesn't have to, or the assessment of ending. With a fire sign, again, so two indicators that there's a lot of earth and fire energy here, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and of course that doesn't have to be the case. If it's not a fire sign, it's just indicating someone who's, for lack of a better term, very bright and shiny. Someone who frequently gets a lot of attention, someone who they light up the room, they're very confident, they're very creative, they're probably very spiritual as well, right? This is not someone who's shy, this is not someone who is a wallflower. This would be someone who's like, I'm here, bitches. No, I'm totally kidding. But essentially, fire signs do kind of have that light up ability, so I hope that makes sense to some of you. But it's hard to get them to stay, isn't it? So, I mean, this could be your fire sign. If it could be a masculine fire sign who's kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're quite simply in the middle here. They're assessing if they want to continue to build with you. And so that makes sense that pages are coming up, because as I said, this probably isn't brand new. So I am going to do another love message, but let's finish this one out because this seems to be the one that obviously needs a lot of TLC. It just seems like this is coming to the forefront of someone who's, yeah, even this, I said fire too with the elk, Aries, Leo, Sag. And this could involve like a mother or a father. And that could be you too, right? So what is, should we switch decks? Now let's finish it up. What is the fate with this Fire King? And for some of my Capricorns, if you resonate strongly with your Fire Moon or your Fire Rising, this could be you too. Again, you can switch up the characters. It doesn't matter to me. The messages will still work usually. So what is the fate of Capricorn and this person who's coming up in their spread? I sense that the person coming up in your spread, Capricorn, is the one who's like, they may even struggle with anxiety. You could be dealing again with a Gemini or an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They have trouble expressing themselves emotionally. So I'm getting a story where they feel rejected by you, and yet they're the one who may want to exit the relationship, or perhaps you guys have already broken up. So, okay, so here's the thing. If you guys have already broken up and you're currently in Five of Pentacles, there's a very good likelihood you guys will reunite in some manner. Do you have to? Absolutely not. But obviously, if you're into this story and you're like, this is me, if you guys have already broken up, like you are not living together, you are not actively, texting, I miss you, blah, blah, blah. If you're kind of in the thick of it right now, Five of Pentacles, high likelihood with your fire sign, they are thinking about building with you again. Three of Cups indicates very jovial, happy energy, and more than likely a reunion, okay? Now, if you guys are at the crux of do we or don't we, like you're still kind of together, but you're kind of in that, like you haven't made a move or you haven't taken the action forward to end something. I do see there probably being I heard and saw Frozen. Not the movie. Let's refocus here. So if Capricorn is kind of going through it, if they're in the thick of it with their person, but they haven't officially ended it or they're thinking about it, where is this likely headed? So in a positive direction. And I think that actually that's sort of what I was feeling too. Because for some of you, the ending of this relationship, even though it may be bittersweet because you do have love for them, the results essentially are saying the spark of a new. It would be something very positive and victorious and triumphant for you to possibly start with someone else and get out of this space of, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to fix this. So again, you may break up and date someone new and then decide, you know what? I kind of miss them. Let's try it again. Others of you obviously will be like, oh my God, sweet, sweet freedom. I don't feel like this anymore, right? So especially with the Gemini. And in fact, in terms of major arcana, I only have Gemini. I have some strong Scorpio and Aries energy with Judgment. It's kind of Pluto energy. And then, of course, you know, we can look at the court cards as very likely indicating some signs out there. So fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. But yeah, there's a lot of contemplation, I think, of will I be happier with someone else? So again, this is a general reading. It won't be everyone's message. For a majority of you, I think there is light at the end of the tunnel in starting fresh. And it could be one of those, you know, cliche scenarios where absence makes the heart grow fonder. By ending it, you may have realized what you lost or what you miss about this person, in which case, again, Three of Cups did come up after the judgment of an ending, so to say. So it's possible that with some time and distance, you guys may rekindle this. So let's start right off with that Ace of Wands, and let's get it messages about new love or whatever this Ace of Wands is. It's something positive coming Capricorn's way. Some of you may have had a vision about your water sign, your starfish. That makes me think of Charlie's Angels, or your Aquarius. Tom Green, have you guys seen Charlie's Angels with Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore? Tom Green is always calling, what's her name? Drew Barrymore's character, Dylan. Starfish. It's just starfish. God, remember when Tom Green was a thing? That seems like ages ago. I'm pretty sure he's a Cancer, and Drew Barrymore's a Pisces. Water signs. All right. So maybe you got water signs coming in. In fact, maybe those names I just rattled off randomly mean something to you. So anyway, let's just talk about this Ace of Wands. I'm not going to assume it's new. Ooh, the Pisces. Cha-ching! We hit gold on the Pisces. I'm not going to assume it's new, but I am going to assume it's positive and it's a welcomed relief or I'm sort of hearing like a spark or what is a good expression for it? It lights up your world. It lights up your sky the way a torch does, right? We think of, you know, carrying a torch in a cave. It brings light to something that is a little bit heavy or scary or dark. This is something that's new. It's going to change things up. They're a vision. I heard they're a vision in red. So you may meet this person for the first time and they're wearing red, or I don't know, are you planning a wedding and like the bridesmaid's dress is red? Something about a vision in red. I don't know what that is, but all right, cool. So this might be someone you met at work or again on some sort of project team. It certainly doesn't have to be. It could be someone who's heavily involved in construction, someone who does a lot of work like kind of digging in the earth with their hands, specifically construction jobs. I'm literally seeing like the hats and the not cement blocks. What do you? I'm hearing the word cylinder. What are those? They're called cement blocks, aren't they? I don't know. You can tell I don't work construction. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, so some of you are at a crossroads between marriage and delaying a marriage so that you guys can save up more money. This, in terms of major arcana, the only one I have coming up here is Taurus. If it's not a Taurus, that's totally fine. This is a very good card. It's saying commitment, tradition. So it's quite literally someone who maybe they changed the game because they're the first one who actually wants to commit to a lifestyle with you and build into the future. So if that's not your story, if that's not the case, if that's not even something you've ever searched for, maybe you've just been, happy doing the bachelor lifestyle, you may actually be having a change of mind because you may meet someone who actually I kind of really like them. Like, I actually really want to be exclusive with them and make them my person. This to me is really beautiful. It's saying this could work if you guys are equally, what is a good word for it? If you guys are equal in your desire to commit to one another exclusively, which that's what this looks like to me, I think you guys will really go places. And again, even my, male or female, whoever out there is watching, there is a message here about you may have been hesitant at one point in time to commit. I think this is saying with a little bit more, I don't want to say with a little bit more work, but it's almost like giving this person a little bit more time to see how great you two work together just without trying. There's like an ease to this. They're like, well, of course I want to build a life with them. Of course I want to build a family with them. Okay, in fact, some of you may, okay, news of pregnancy. Again, that's the second time I've gotten that hit. It could be that you're adding one to the mix. It's like 3. It's like there was just the 2 of us. We committed. Yeah, I'm almost getting something about you may get news of pregnancy. In addition to some sort of successful news at work, it's almost like you get hit with 2 beautiful blessings at once, but you weren't anticipating the pregnancy one. So again, not for everybody, but just the thing is, I think it would be very positive for most of you, and I mean that's a very personal thing, right? So I'm not going to insert any of my opinion on it, but the way it's being relayed to me is like you would get this news, and it might be like a little bit shocking. I'm hearing Along Came a Spider. Something about Charlotte's Web is a very important book for some of you. I don't know why that is, but I'm hearing that. Charlotte's Web was very important for you. Was it like one of your foundational, it's like your little Bible. In fact, some of you may still carry a copy of it with you. I'm literally seeing someone clutching it. Interesting. Anyway, sorry, all these side routes. It would be something very positive. So again, that's entirely up to you if you, want to move forward with that. But, in fact, so there even could have been news of pregnancy before marriage. And so maybe that's what leads you guys at a crossroads of like, well, I guess we're in this. But again, to me, this is like, yeah, we are. That's really cute. I love that message. All right, let's get one more message of love for Capricorn. In fact, let's switch decks. I'm really feeling the Rider-Waite one today, though. That was a good one. All right. Capricorn, some of you have a Libra coming in, and yeah, some of you are going to have a child with a Libra, or if you have a sister or whoever, anyone in your family who's a Libra, there may be news of pregnancy there. One more deck in love. All right, let's do this one. Why the heck not? One more message of love, and then we'll do money, career, and finances. I hope I remember to timestamp all these. All right. Cap, one more message in love. Anything at me. Throw anything at me here. I'm not gonna ask for new or old. Whatever comes out, I will read for Capricorn. What is an important message that some of my Capricorns watching this right now are curious about? What does Capricorn need to hear in love? The Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Swords. So positive communications coming forward. Then you have the 8 of Wands, some more communications. This 8 of Wands specifically talks about psychic communications. This could be from your Aries or your Aquarius, or someone who is a drummer. Or, I mean, any musicians, but specifically something important about the drums. So you have your King of Wands coming up here again, an Aries, Leo, Sag. And this deck depicts the King of Wands as a female, so just keep that in mind. That could be a female fire sign. Or male. Again, it doesn't have to be gender specific, but I'm just letting you guys know. And then let's see. That is the Hanged Man. We have the Tower. So something may be breaking down with a Pisces, especially an Aries Pisces cusper. That may be that the situation that's very delayed and you guys are like, are we or aren't we? That may be with an Aries or a Pisces. Because you're waiting for things to get better, but okay, as much as I try to make these messages different, they always kind of end up going in the same direction. So, the thing that you're contemplating about starting fresh or starting anew, I think a lot of you guys are feeling pinned. You're feeling pinned down and it's getting uncomfortable. The reason it's feeling uncomfortable, in addition to, kind of I love this person, but I'm not sure if they're good for me, more or less with time, a majority of my Capricorns are going to recognize that by staying in this relationship, you would have had to sacrifice something, whether that's work or other love or family matters, whatever it is. You would have had to sacrifice something that was going to be pivotal, I'm hearing, crucial in your spiritual path. Something that I don't think is here yet, but it has huge potential to offer you a lot of, I hesitate to use the word abundance because it has nothing to do with money. I mean, it may indirectly, but it has to do with growing. Something about, the cocoon to the butterfly. By settling down with this person right now, and the thing is, it's uncomfortable. It's not like, oh, well, I love them. They're my cozy person. This isn't your message if that's the case. There's something about you feel trapped, suffocated, because there's a part of you where you're loving from a state of lack. You're worried that you're never going to meet that person who actually fulfills all your needs and desires, or vice versa. There could be an inferiority complex of, maybe that's why you feel uncomfortable, because you feel like you don't meet the standards of this person. whatever it is, it's saying you're still in the cocoon phase, but you're meant to be the butterfly. And yes, I know that's kind of cheesy, but it is what it is, especially with your Gemini. I'm getting that again. If you aren't with a Gemini, a lot of you may have a Gemini coming in or a Pisces. There's something beautiful about recognizing that this opportunity or this person or this relationship doesn't check all the boxes. And I think a lot of you are being very hard on yourself and thinking, am I being too greedy? You know, am I being a perfectionist? Am I overshadowing all the great parts of this person with all their negative traits? Or for yourself, maybe it's more introspective. The mere fact that you're assessing is really important. And in this specific message, don't beat yourself up about that. It's showing a desire that you think you deserve more, that you still desire to learn and grow and thrive in your love life. And I'm almost getting the universe is like, they're giving you a little golf clap. So rather than beating yourself up and again, acting out of fear, well, if I let go of this, what if I miss them? Or, you know, if I stay in this relationship, what if I have to, you know, whatever it is, it has to come from a place of clarity. And I think here's the thing. Fear is necessary because it's a transitional stage, but it's making you realize the deeper reason behind it. That's why the Tower shows up. The Tower is the epiphany moment of, oh shit, I didn't even realize if I do X, Y, and Z, I'm never going to be able to do A, B, and C. And obviously, of course, in any love and romantic relationship, there are sacrifices. That's quite literally what the Hangman says. This says to me, though, we're not ready to make those sacrifices yet because we haven't started building with the person who there's some sense of certainty that they are the one. There's a lot of questioning. There's a lot of back and forth. But again, it's not for most of you, it feels more of a, I'm afraid to let go because what will happen if I do? Your intuition doesn't operate out of fear. Your intuition operates out of quite literally a higher vibration, right? From God, from universe, whatever. I think a lot of you are waiting and just waiting and waiting and waiting for some sort of sign or waiting for something to get better. And I feel like I may have said this to you before. The signs are already around you, and I don't think they're going to get much clearer because universe is wanting you to make the decision. I always use this example. But more or less, sorry. Sometimes I hear phrases and I'm like, oh, I sound like my favorite tarot readers. What the hell is her name? I got to give her a shout out now because she's great. What is her name? She used to go by She Do Soulology. What the hell is her name? The Woke Therapist. She's a Taurus. I love her. She's one of the first tarot readers I ever started watching, and she actually has like psych degrees, and she's insanely intelligent and super funny. I love her. Check her out. She's an Earth sign, right? Support other tarot readers. Anyway, sorry. More or less, she always says that, and I love that. This Tower moment is about putting power into your hands to make decisions with authority about your own life, rather than being very passive about, oh, well, I'm just going to do this until the universe tells me I shouldn't. That's not the correct course of operation. It's taking accountability. And the reason why for me as a reader, so often the Hangman does kind of show up with the Tower, because the Hangman, as much as we can connect it to Pisces, ultimately it's Neptune. It's like that fogginess. It's like that confusion. Nothing is really tangible. And I know as an Earth sign, we like that. Like A is A, B is B. When Neptune energy sweeps in, it's kind of like, wait a minute, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Is it a thought? Is it a feeling? Is it a thing? So rather than completely going off of, well, I think this is, but I don't really know, it's asking you, Capricorn, to really analyze it and dig deeper. And I'm almost being called to say, is it okay not knowing all the answers? Yes, because ultimately you have no choice in your future. But when it comes to this person, I think that's what this has to do with. Not knowing where this person is going to be in 3 years or 10 years or whatever. Does that provoke fear in you? Or is it a sense of, I always know we're going to be in each other's lives, so it's okay? Do you see like the difference of fear and intuition? For others of you, that almost seems like a message too of you have your ducks in a row, or you have some sort of plan in order for where you want to go in the future. And some of you don't, and that's fine. Most of my Capricorns do, just by default, right? It could be that your person doesn't have that same sense of direction, and that makes you very nervous.
Yeah, in fact, that actually, and it's like you keep waiting for them to have that own moment of realization or epiphany. If it's your water sign, they actually very likely will. In fact, if this isn't you, your water sign may go into some sort of intuitive art or something kind of woo-woo, hippy-dippy psychic stuff. I say that with absolute love and admiration, of course, right? Your fire sign feels lost too, though. So for some of you, your fire sign may feel very... not grounded, for lack of a better term. It's like they just bounce from one thing to the other and they end up feeling disappointed. You're like, maybe this will be the time. Like you're rooting for them, but it's like, I don't know. And ultimately, tarot says, bring it back to yourself. Are you doing the best you can simply for you? I don't know what else to say other than this message seems to indicate it doesn't matter how long you wait. The intuitive hits you're getting already is probably what will remain for the coming months with this person. So again, I will say the same I said in the previous messages. You may try time apart, and it could be that thing where absence makes the heart grow fonder. By spending time apart, it may give the both of you time to sort of reconnect with yourself and your soul purpose and what you eventually want to go after. And, yes, it could go this way and you guys come back together, or it could go this way and you guys essentially, it was like a ricochet effect where you guys met and you bounced ideas off each other and then you went in completely different directions. And that's okay too. This still ends with the Ace of Wands, which I think is very funny because our first spread ended that way too. So whatever comes of this, it will end in something positive, even though it might not feel like it initially. So I hate to repeat the message, but that's really what I got. The Wheel of Fortune is spinning in a positive direction. Again, some of you have a Gemini coming in. I also think there's an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, who's been wanting to move forward with you, but they're insecure, or they feel like you don't like them, or that you've grown cold or distant. Some of you have recently broken up with someone, and you're starting to grow feelings for a fire sign. It could be a fire sign who is a twin. So again, yes, could be a Gemini, it could be a twin flame, but it could be a fire sign who literally is a twin sister or something of the sort. Someone who dances as well, or again, Piscean, Neptune energy, artsy, creative, not really, it's hard to describe what they do. It's just kind of interpretive and into like that. And I know Capricorn, you're like, I fucking hate that. But it's actually beautiful. That's what you do like about this person, because I should not stereotype. I shouldn't say you hate that, because I know there's a lot of beautiful artistic Capricorns out there. Here's what I'm getting though. It would be great to immerse yourself more in that energy, because if you do have that reaction where it's strange and foreign and like, just say what it is. Just what exactly is it that you do? There's something very important about this Neptune energy, this fog, this lack of perspective or perception. Again, as we started off saying, it has something to do with utilizing a different sense that, sense, smell, hearing, whatever, that you don't usually gravitate towards. This person opens you up to like a new, I heard chakra. Look into chakras. Something about that is important for you. I don't know. It opens you up to a new way of, I don't want to say living your life. That seems very extreme, but maybe. You tell me. All right, that's what we got. Capricorn, I feel bad I didn't give you any who's coming in type fun stuff, but it seems like a lot of you are kind of either in an in-between where you're looking for love, but you haven't done a lot of healing. Fire signs. Fire signs are looking good for Capricorns. I've been seeing King and Queen of Wands a lot, and the Ace of Wands. A lot of fire, or someone who has very strong fire in their chart. Virgo, the Hermit, someone who's single. And the Ten of Swords, that's what I mean. There does seem to be an ending looming. Anyway, let's talk about your job. Why not? Let's use this deck. Okay, Capricorn. Actually, no, let's use this deck. I'm into it. It's got clovers on it. Feels lucky. All right, so let's do it this way. What will be Capricorn's challenge? I saw moving on. Interesting. By the beach. Something by the beach. Maybe you're exiting a job that overlooked the beach or a home. You may, finances could have to do with your home or job. Well, I was going to try and ask for a storyline. Oh, but they fell out exactly how I wanted them to. I was going to take 4 cards, and there they are. Okay, so let's read this as your challenge or focus. Your challenge or focus in the coming month, or, whatever you want to project onto this. The timeline doesn't matter to me. That's up to you. Your challenge or focus is to listen. Interesting. To be honest, maybe check the ego a little bit. Are you listening, listening only to wait for your next turn to speak? Or are you actually analyzing what the other person is saying? And the word empathy is coming to mind. Can you actually relate to how this person is feeling or why they're advocating those things to you, especially with your Aquarius or something to do with your, I'm hearing the word psychic. So again, that could be someone in your life. Maybe it's this message. Are you actually listening? Are you combing through the parts that don't seem relevant to you? I'm not saying this to promote myself. Project this message onto any tarot reader, anyone you seek advice or counsel from, even your, therapist or whatever. Are you combing through the bits? You're like, yeah, no. Ask yourself why that's coming up in like a deeper way, because it may actually, you may be interpreting it as a love message when really it has to do with your family or something like that, like romantic love versus familial love. Yeah, I mean, your challenge, your focus is to listen. And for a lot of you, it does have to do with your partner. So I'm trying to read for money. Just give me a second here. No, it does have to do with your work, though. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. So 2 makes me think of there's a collaboration going on at work or something, some sort of collaboration that could be very beneficial or lucrative in a financial capacity, but you're not there yet. There's something about you still have to go back to the drawing board and perfect something that didn't quite go the way you were hoping or anticipating. There's a kink in the chain I'm hearing, and okay, that feels like anything to do with electronics, or I'm hearing electricity, but I'm literally getting something like a kinked wire. It's like the signals can't go through. There's a blockage, right? It's not that you can't just unkink it or whatever the expression is, but it does have to do with being receptive in terms of the knowledge and information that's coming from either your superior, your the opposite, whoever, your team of people supporting you, whatever it is. You will work through this problem, though. And Capricorn, yes, anything. What I didn't mean electrical per se, but jobs with technology. I'm literally seeing wires. Some of you may have a piece of technology that's malfunctioning, and that could actually end up making your job much harder than it needs to be. Make sure you're working with updated applications and programs and technology. There's something about. A lot of you have this intuitive sense that you have like an old piece of machinery or technology or whatever that it's about to like, I heard shit the bed, something my dad says, but put that in less gross terms, but it's on its last legs. Those hits are saying update it, because that could lead to, I don't want to say your downfall, but it could cost you a lot more to fix it or replace it in the long run versus safety proofing it is sort of what I'm getting from that. Yes, it's going to be an expense, but it will be worth it in the long run, because it's almost like it's a hassle to transfer the, whatever you're doing onto, this new machine or whatever, versus when it breaks and you've lost all the data, then you're really going to be up shit's creek, right? That's what I'm saying. Anticipate the technology that, this is not a revelation, you guys hearing this. You already know there's some piece of machinery or whatever you're working with. You're like, we've had it for like 10 years. I'm amazed at it. Or you guys just need to know you need to I don't know. You get what I'm saying. Update it or, hearing the word convert. So convert the technology or the media or the data or whatever it is. A lot of you, this has to do with your home operated business. And a lot of you, it could even be your wife or your husband or even your children have been nagging you to update something, because Capricorn, you may be very sentimental about this. It could have been, the first whatever you learned on, the first program or the first computer. I don't know. It's not just a computer. It's something else. But anyway, you may be very sentimental. No. Like, this is a well-oiled machine. This is a fine-tuned machine. And your kids are like, Dad. Like, it's that type of vibe where there's almost Capricorn, I'm hearing the word smugness. There's a smugness to no, this baby was made in 1980, but it's like, there's something about you're so proud that it's like, it's historical or it's nostalgic or sentimental, but the thing is, someone has been telling you, that thing, like, it may cause like an electrical fire. And you're like, no, it's never done that before. Well, I'm going to leave you with that. Okay, moving on. So what is the help available to you? Daydreams and decisions. Interesting. So that's sort of what I was kind of getting around when I said this Neptune energy, this fogginess, this confusion. You don't have to look at it from a negative perspective as, oh, well, yeah, confusion. I don't get it. It's more like, can we get out of our own way? Can we view this from a different perspective? Before you make a decision, have you considered all the options or other opportunities? Don't delay the decisions purposely, knowing that, like, if you've already decided what decision you're going to make, don't delay it. I'm going to update this computer, but in the next few months. You know you're going to update it, just do it. Like Nike. However, and again, even Nike, that makes me think of like Messenger and communication, anything involving communications and technology. For others of you, it's saying there's nothing wrong with delaying the decision if you are trying to come up with new and different solutions. Creativity will help you make some sort of important decision, especially with your Cancer or anything involving, and hearing the word auto body. So you may be making an important decision about your car. Maybe you're going to switch to a more fuel efficient system for anything. I don't know if it's your car or whatever, but some of you need to listen to your children. Your children have very good creative ideas. And I mean, that could even resonate, nieces, nephews, if you're a school teacher, something like that. So yeah, some of you have a job working with children that's going to come to you. Yeah, or if you're not working with children, you may end up working with mothers. Something about mother and children. Some of you may end up collaborating with a parent or a child in your career path or in some sort of deal. There could be some sort of lucrative deal where you get to work with, I'm going to say a family member, but for most of you, it's either your mother or your child. And very likely if your child is a full-grown adult, right, who has their own job, but some of you are going to be teachers. Some of you are going to participate in some sort of religious ceremony or spiritual ceremony where you get, again, I'm seeing like pins on your jacket. You get a recognition or an award, or I don't know if it's a medal, but it's or something like that. And it has to do with like a spiritual gathering. I don't know what that is. It could even be something musical among musicians, or I don't know. For others of you, that's a confirmation if you had a family member, specifically a female in your life, your sister, sister-in-law, mother, whoever, who served in the military. Something very important is coming through. It could be a document in the mail where they get invited to some sort of ceremony, or I don't know. I heard the word initiation. So some of you may be joining the military or something like that, especially my females, but that may go for the males as well. All right, so what is your advice or guidance? Manifest. Always good advice or guidance. Work on your manifestations. There's something very important about fire and water here, so that makes me think of temperance, which is Sagittarian energy. The blending of opposites. So again, almost something very earthy, something very practical, tangible. Don't be afraid to blend that with a little bit of creativity and whim and kind of, I hate to say just doing it because or for the heck of it, because I know that's not how a lot of you operate, but essentially there's something very valuable to immersing yourself in a more dreamlike state. So the help available to you Capricorns in the coming months regarding your money is manifesting. So what can I tell Capricorn about that? Some of you are trying to manifest new sources of income. It may involve leaving your home, though. You may have to sell your property or move to a new location. Again, something by the water or by the ocean. You may have to travel. You may have to travel to take this opportunity. If you are manifesting, I'm just going to say it this way. If you are going on interviews or applying to jobs, go towards what you're passionate about. Again, not the one that you're like, well, it's the most financially responsible. Yes, that's important. I always say this to you, though. If you are passionate about something, there's a good likelihood that you will experience longevity in your career because your heart and soul is in it. Right? If you take a job with a nice paycheck, what if in a year you're like, I hate this. This is miserable. Again, a balance of the two is nice. I'm not saying you have to go one extreme or the other, but it's like you do need to consider your decisions before you take them. Some of you do have a very lucrative offer coming in. The Empress, Page of Pentacles, and Knight. You do have Knight of Cups, but you You have 9 of Cups, the wish fulfillment card regarding a work opportunity. Listen to what this person is telling you in the interview. There's crucial information that you're being, I'm hearing the word molded. It's almost like they're trying to mold you or sculpt you into this, the projection of what the company needs to look like. And some of you are going to have a moral or ethical dilemma with that. What do you call that? It's like they're trying to, I'm seeing someone literally petting a cat or a dog. It's like, essentially, it feels like manipulation. They're trying to get you to look or act a certain way so that you fit in better with like this button-up thing. And a lot of my Capricorns, you're considering doing it, but the voice inside you is like, there's something weird about this. Listen to that voice, okay? Can you take it? Sure, but I think you're going to end up being disappointed. I think there's 2 opportunities here. There's the Page of Pentacles that has a very fancy title. It has a very fancy, high-rise studio apartment that comes with it. There's whatever, right? There's corporate bonuses or whatever. It's not saying it's bad. In the short term, it may give you a nice little, few years of a paycheck that it's like, hey, savings. Eventually, though, I think you're going to realize, my heart just isn't in this. I need to look at other options. Others of you have another option coming in, maybe simultaneously or in a similar timeline that actually it will be lucrative, but it may come with like a starting rate and you have to you earn more as you go. It could even I'm looking for the right word for this. Maybe commission-based. I don't know if that's the exact word, but streams of income will come more in the future versus signing on the dotted line to get that big job. This one, you have to work a little bit more for it, or it involves movement and travel. It could be something that you do on the road, or it could be something where, you would have to move away from the comfort zone, but universe is saying to me, you've outgrown the comfort zone. You need to take more risks, especially location-wise, too. So you may have I don't know if you do sales and you have a certain territory, this new job may actually expand your territory. The thing is, I don't see you, Capricorn, as being intimidated by that. If anything, it's like, oh, well, that's good, but it's more you're worried about the numbers behind it, gas mileage and this and that, and I don't know, I get better vibes from this one. The Star, yeah. I like the second job offer better. I think the first one that comes initially on paper, it sounds very good, but there's something about what the owner or the CEO or something about the words they've used, and literally look up articles where there's been quotes from them. There's something about that where it's again, inside of you, you're just like, ugh, that feels a little bit icky, or you feel like you have to change something about your person in order to fit in with the group, when it's I'm going to say it's cheesy. It's like you're meant to stand out. You're the star. You're not supposed to fit in with the rest. And so that's why this other opportunity could be more entrepreneurial based. So that would make sense. It's right. You kind of have to work for your income. It's going to be a slow build up to those major streams of income. In the end, though, will it be worth it? I think Manifest in the Star says, yeah. Can we aim higher? Can we shoot higher? Studying the planets, as above, so below. That's very appropriate. It's possibly something to do with the medical industry, or this is so bizarre. Not bizarre, but random. Healing animals, specifically sea creatures, doing something in the water, like marine bio type stuff. But again, some of you are going to be working with the planets and the stars, and you might be an astronomer or something like that. You may work at an observatory or something like that. Don't be afraid to leave the comfort zone. Yeah, it will be worth it in the end. 9 of Pentacles, completion and gain. Leave behind what is familiar and comfortable and expand upon that. Go to the next level. Bring your A game. It's like, I don't need to tell you guys this, but I am going to anyway. It's like, don't shy away from new opportunities just because you feel like a fish out of water. Perfect metaphor. Or I'm interested, but I don't know if I want to do it long term. There could be something of value there where you can experience that one thing or project or that working at that company, and then take the pieces that were of use to you, valuable to you, and move them in another direction. it is time for you to try some sort of new endeavor that you guys have been thinking about it for a long time. And I see you doing a lot of gathering of the facts, researching it online, computing the numbers of how it would work out. You have the foundation. Now it's time to move forward. And that's the scary part. When you're at the 4, it was great. It was a comfort zone. It served you, right? It was a foundation. Now it gets tricky because you're headed into the 5s, and 5s are about the disruption of the balance, right? They're an odd number by default. 5s can be kind of anarchy and change and chaos, but from that, it could actually be very beautiful because it's shaking up the tradition of the way you've always done it. That goes back to this whole thing of hearing the preachings of someone in your life who's like, we got to update. We're being too precious. We're being too traditional. We need to, think outside the box. You're absolutely right. So your a potential outcome, you have the Just Breathe card in reverse. Interesting. Some of you may be doing something regarding lungs or like a breathing apparatus or something, again, in the medical industry. You could be teaching a course on breath work and yoga. The thing is, in the reverse, it says to me, you guys, especially if you are nervous, have a very nervous nature to you, anxiety, your advice or guidance is to be I shouldn't use the word hyper aware. That sounds like the exact opposite, but be aware of it and find a healthy outlet to settle your thoughts, because I see you engaging in something big, arguably life-changing, new and different, and it's going to shake you a little bit, but in a positive way, because you're going to yield more income or more security or something very positive comes from this. But because you are leaving the tradition or the comfort zone or the way it's always been done, with it comes a little bit of stress and anxiety and feeling discomfort. From discomfort, there will be a lot of gems and valuable wisdom and insight that will help you grow and kick ass even more. You have really good cards, but again, don't operate out of fear. Breathe through it. And I am getting something about someone holding their breath. So again, something about like sea creatures, oxygen tanks going under the sea. But that could also have to do with the fields you work in. Some of you need to quit smoking or take better care of something about your breathing or your lungs. I think for a lot of you, it's like a message of when you're feeling stressed and anxious, it's like bring it back to yourself. Focus on the things in the room. Focus on your breath work. I don't mean to scare you, but it's like anxiety is going to be a part of this process. So you can avoid it entirely and stay exactly where you are, or you can face your fears and work through something with this determined attitude of like, quite literally, exhale. I can do this. That is going to be huge for you. And again, that's a metaphor for for what you do, especially if you're a singer, like something where your breath work is very important, Capricorn, your throat chakra. Love, 2 of Cups. You may be moving towards something that you love doing. There could be a business partnership in your life that possibly has kind of like romantic vibes attached to it. Here's the thing. I don't even want to say that. I feel like this is speaking to compatibility. It could be a business partnership where it's like your work family. For others of you, it's an absolute confirmation you will be working with your husband or your wife and possibly working out of your house. All right. Let me take a breath. I'm dying here. I'm going to wrap it up, but I feel like I want to pull an oracle card for you. Yeah, in fact, let's do this one. Sorry, I wish I had pulled it out earlier, but believe in your magic. I'm seeing a shark. I'm seeing marine biology creatures. Swim away from the situation. Get perspective. Think about it. Think creatively. Don't work harder, work smarter. I love that phrase. Oh, that one's popping out. Storm. Every hurricane comes to an end. Prepare yourself for major changes. But again, positive ones. The storm is coming to an end. Psychic abilities. Some of you it's almost like you're dipping your toe into this idea that you may actually have a sixth sense and you may be honing in on that skill, that gift. Something with real estate and houses. Again, some of you may have to move in order to take this new job. Do you have to? Absolutely not. It's up. You have free will. It's up to you. I just see some of you having to move into like a gated community though. So it might be very ritzy, or you may be working in old folks' homes. And again, something with breathing, people who require oxygen tubes. I don't mean to make that like a scary thing. It's just, a reality of the situation. You may be working with people who have lung disease or something like that. Phoenix, how's that for happily ever after? That's amazing. I love that. And once upon a time, there's you in the Charlotte's Web book. Does that make sense to anyone out there? Is it someone's name maybe? Charlotte's Web is a very crucial piece of literature for some of my Capricorns out there. Are you working with animals? Are you doing something on a farm, agriculture? Charlotte's Web is laced with symbolism. I don't really know what it is, but hopefully you do. Or you will eventually. Don't stress about it. And then Clover, release your guilt. Some of you, it feels like, you've reached the end of a cycle in your love life, and that's okay. A lot of you, again, there's like a fear that comes with it. Others of you, you're afraid to leave your family behind to move, or you are afraid to, if you've been working on a business endeavor that just, again, your heart isn't in it, whether it's successful or not, especially with your sister or a best friend who is female. This feels very female, but it doesn't have to be. A lot of you feel great remorse having to tell that person, I don't want to do this anymore. And so you may have been delaying it, but no, it's a challenge that universe is presenting you with. You are capable of doing this, right? And it doesn't mean you have to sever the tie with this person and never speak again. In fact, I think most of you will because you deeply love this person, but you have a fear of being a disappointment in the eyes of others. That's not going to be helpful to you right now. You do need to do what's best for you with kindness, with empathy, but this is about you and your career and what's best for your money. Some of you feel really guilty about something that happened with your children, like you denied your children something growing up, or I don't know what it is, but again, it's releasing those thoughts. It's embracing the idea of love as well as your own flaws. No one will ever be perfect, so if you're striving to be perfect, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, Capricorn. Yeah, that's what I got for you. Some of you have new love or new business partnership coming in with a Scorpio or a Gemini or possibly an Aquarius. All right, Capricorn, that's what I got for you. Birthday messages, yay! I hope that was helpful. Thanks for being tried and true, Capricorn. I got a lot of really cool Caps out there who show up for me. I appreciate you guys. I hope you had a kick-ass birthday season. Capricorn is great. I love Capricorn season. I'm like living my best life. I'm rearranging my house. I'm spending more time in the kitchen and on my body and on my health routine and decorating. Like, I thrive in Capricorn season. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm rambling now. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you next time. Bye.